Okay, welcome to Chapter 9, Lesson 5, Measures of Variation. Our learning target or objective for this lesson is to find and interpret the mean absolute deviation for a data. Okay, two definitions, vocab words for this lesson. Mean absolute deviation, the average distance between each data value and the mean. And standard deviation, a calculated value that shows how the data deviates from the mean of the data. Once again, we pause the video, write down definitions, and continue when ready. Okay, we're going to jump right into a real-world example. Table shows the heights of the first 8 people standing in line to ride a roller coaster. Find the mean absolute deviation of the set of the data. Describe what the mean absolute deviation represents. A lot of big words. Let's put them so how you can understand them. First step what you're going to do is we have to find the mean. The mean, once again, is the average of the group of the heights. So we'd add those all up. And how many are there? There are 8 of them. You divide them by 8, and you're going to get the average height is 56 inches. Okay, so now we know the mean of the group. Now we want to find the absolute value of the difference between each value in the data group. So what that means is we're going to take the first person, which is 52, it's 52 inches tall. We're going to subtract the mean. We're going to put an absolute value. Remember, absolute value is the distance from 0, and there is no negatives. It's always positive when you're inside the absolute value. So we're going to find 52 minus 56 would be a -4, but it's an absolute, so that's going to equal 4. And we're going to do this with each and every person in line. So 48 minus 56 is going to give us an absolute value of 8. 60 minus 56 equals 4. 55 minus 56 equals 1. And we got 59. 56 gets us 3. 54 minus 56, absolute value is 2. We have 58 minus 56. Once again, absolute value is 2. And 62 minus 56, absolute value is 6. Yes, again, those represent the mean absolute value away from between the mean and the actual height. So the first person is 52 inches tall. So they are 4 inches away from being from the mean. Second person is 48 inches tall. They are 8 inches from the mean of the group. Okay, and now what we're going to do here, now we have to find the average of the absolute values of the differences between each value in the data set. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these numbers, it'll be 4 plus 8 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2, 2 plus 6. And we're going to find that average, which equals out to 3.75. And this 3.75 is the mean absolute deviation. Just an I in there. Equals 3.75. This means the average distance each person's height is from the mean height is 3.75 inches. So saying the average person is 3.75 inches away from 56 of this group. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Any questions about this one, please go back on this video and replay it again. That's the mean absolute deviation, that's how you find it. Okay, another real world example. Standard deviation of the quiz scores for Class A is about 1.2. Describe the quiz scores that are within one standard deviation of the mean. Okay. So what we need to do here, standard deviation, one standard deviation, let's talk about that first, is 1.2. So let's just say this test scores, the mean was 7. Okay, one standard deviation is the 1.2. So one standard deviation below it will be 5.8. And going the other way would be 8.2. So if you scored anywhere between a 5.8 and an 8.2, you're one standard deviation away from the mean of the class. That's what standard deviation means. You're 1.2 either way from the class. So once again, we're going to find out. They gave us the standard deviation here is 1.2. What we need to find out is the mean. So in this one, we're looking for this and the min and max values away from the mean. So first of all, we're going to find the mean. Mean simple and easy enough. All you are is going to add up all the test scores and then divide. You have 12 test scores. Add them all up, divide, you're going to get a mean of 8.25. So the average of the class was 8.25. So if we take our 8.25, which is our mean, and that's the mean. And now we're going to go one standard deviation away from our mean. What our standard deviation is 1.2. So we'd subtract 8.25 minus 1.2, puts us 7.05. And also then our top would be 9.45. So quiz scores that are between 7.05 and 9.45 are within one standard deviation of the mean. Okay, any questions about standard deviation? Please review the video, write down any questions. Once again, we'll always go over this stuff in class more in depth, but to give you an idea of lesson 5, measures of variation. Okay, this concludes this video.